Hi everybody, Dawn here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. I just watched the Ruby, Franke, Jodi Hildebrandt sentencing hearings, and we were just going to discuss it a little bit. I'm just going to give a few details from it. Now, this wasn't, they didn't get their actual sentence, like how much time they will serve, but it was confirmed what we already knew, so we'll just get into that right now. So Ruby was first, it was, the first thing was talking about restitution. They wanted to leave that open for 8 months. So there's going to be no talk of restitution for about 8 months. The state's position regarding sentencing, they're asking for a consecutive prison term for each of the 4 terms. She would serve 1 to 15 years for each charge, which would actually be a maximum of 4 to 30 years because they're capped out at 30 years. So yeah, they would serve 1 to 30 years, not 60, like a lot of people are saying 60. They might get 60 years, but they'll only be expected to serve 30 based on Utah law. And that's what the district attorney just said. So, so from the, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my notes and I don't have my glasses, so it's making it hard. So from May to August of last year, the 2 children were held in a concentration camp-like setting. This is from the district attorney, what he was discussing. They were regularly denied food, water, beds to sleep in. They were isolated from others, which that what I just told you right there is very severe, but it gets worse. And they were hidden when there would be visitors at the house, forced to do an excessive physical task for hours at a time, also forced to do manual labor outside in the summer heat for hours, suffering from terrible sunburns, forced to stand on a concrete patio outside for hours, even days. At a time. They were beaten, and the 12-year-old was regularly bound hand and foot after attempting to run away. Both children had extensive physical injuries that required hospitalization. Emotional ABUSE, and they believed they deserved what was being done to them because of what Ruby and Jodi was telling them. It was drilled in their head. That's going to take a lot of recovery. And, you know, you can just see by that why they don't want these kids to have to testify. Ruby has shown considerable remorse, but who really knows if this is because she was caught or really cares about her children. This is probably going to be an unpopular statement. I think she really cares about her children, but none of the, and she says she was basically brainwashed by Jodi and led astray by Jodi. But that doesn't change the fact that she ABUSE'd these children before in front of us. We've all seen it. So, I mean, she could say what she wants right now about Jodi brainwashing her, but we all saw what happened on 8 Passengers, so. But we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and put in a clip from her. She had a statement she wanted to make. I'm not going to put the whole statement. I'll link the video where I got it from. But it's a lot, so I'm just going to put a clip. It's going to be kind of a long clip, but there's going to be a clip next.
I would like to make a statement without any intent to change my stipulated sentence. For the past 4 years, I've chosen to follow counsel and guidance that has led me into a dark delusion. My distorted version of reality went largely unchecked as I would isolate from anyone who challenged me. I was led to believe that this world was an evil place, filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure, government agencies that brainwash, church leaders who lie and lust, husbands who refuse to protect, and children who need abused. My choice to believe and behave this paranoia culminated into criminal activity for which I stand before you today ready to take accountability. Jodi Hildebrandt was never my business partner, nor was I ever employed by her. I have never received wages from her or connections. Jodi was employed as my son's counselor in 2019, and in 2020 I paid her to be my mentor. It is important to me to demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame. I take full accountability for my choices, and it is my preference that I serve a prison sentence. Thank you to the officers in Santa Clara and the Ivan City Police, Nick Hellman, Brian Palufo, Cy Pitkevit, Mike Pondoyo in Tobler, John Ward, D. Lewis, and Chief Flowers. You were the angels who came and saved my children. I especially want to thank Detective Jay Bate. She plucked me out of a situation I didn't know how to get out of. And the moment she handcuffed me was the moment I gained my freedom. You were not the controlling ones. I was. Thank you to the medical staff at Intermountain Hospital. Your skill, tenderness, and professionalism helped heal my children. Jodi and I inflicted the injuries, not the hospital. Thank you to DCFS, the Children's Justice Center, Judge Basil, and other key adults. You've gathered my children under your wing and offered them love, compassion, encouragement. You were not the ones who were doing the brainwashing. Thank you to my Bishop Tom Hawks and my state president Jim Nelson for reminding me of the Lord's love for the lost. So much pain and suffering would have been avoided had I followed and heeded your counsel. I was the one who was deceived, not you. Thank you to the Washington County Prosecutor's Office, Ryan Sham, the legal assistants and discovery clerks. Eric Clark, you exemplified to me how justice and mercy are meant to coexist. My charges are just. They offer safety to my family, accountability to the public, and they did show mercy to me. Thank you to my attorney, Lamar Winward, and his staff. I would not be where I am today without them. Thank you to Randy Kester for your limitless energy in healing my family. My dear friends, Pam and Roy, I'm so sorry for letting you down. Because of your association with me, your innocence was called into question. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, Kevin's family, my cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and neighbors, you all saw the warning signs long before I did.
So, and everything that was said during Ruby's hearing was said during Jodi's hearing as well, but there's more. While Ruby is seemingly, accepting responsibility for what's been done to her children, Jodi is not accepting any, despite her pleading guilty. She's apparently being very defiant. She says she's not the bad guy that children were, and with that kind of attitude, that's not going to help her. That's not going to help her get a reduced sentence or anything. And she did read a statement, and I'm going to insert that right here. Everything that was said during Ruby's, except for the part about her being defiant, because that wasn't said about Ruby. Everything that was said during Ruby's was pretty much said was what they were going to say during Jodi's. So here is just a clip of Jodi's statement.
I sincerely love these children. I desire for them to heal physically and emotionally. One of the reasons I did not go to trial is that I did not want them to emotionally relive the experience which would have been detrimental to them. My hope and prayer is that they will heal and move forward to have beautiful lives. I am willing to submit to what the state feels would be an appropriate amount of time served to make retribution as an outcome.
And in answer to your question, Your Honor, I knew that whatever she might say to the author of the pre-sentence report would probably sound hollow and self-serving, and perhaps it does today. But I know that my client, in the statement that she makes to the court today, that statement is absolutely sincere.
Does Hildebrandt recognize that it's her behavior that caused the harm to the children that she's referred to in her statement?
Your Honor, she recognizes that she was, along with Miss Franke, that she made decisions with respect to the discipline of those children that were wrong, that caused harm to those children. She fully recognizes that and accepts responsibility for that.
All right. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
So we didn't find out how long either lady will serve, but I predict that Ruby will serve less time than Jodi. I think Jodi is going to be given, I don't think the sentences are going to be the same. I know a lot of people think they'll both get the same sentence. Other than their sentence being consecutive, I don't think it'll be the same. I think that Jodi might get the maximum, and the judge told her what she did was awful. You know, the judge was like I don't want to say hard on her because, you know, a judge is a judge, but he just told her she was just disconnected and not taking any responsibility. I'm paraphrasing, and that what she did was heinous and unforgivable, basically. And the judge didn't say that to Ruby, and I think that her sentencing is going to be a lot more than what what Ruby gets. I think Jodi's probably going to get the maximum, so she'll get 4 to 30 years. I know it's 4 to 60, but again, the maximum, they max out at 30 years. So I think she'll get the full thing. I don't think Ruby's going to get as much. Part of me feels like Ruby's only going to get 4 years, but I know she deserves more. She needs more. So I'm not sure what either one of them is going to get. I'm just guessing. But I do think Ruby is going to serve less time than Jodi. But anyway, what are your thoughts on the case? And yeah, don't come at me with insults. Some of you people are a-holes. I'm just making a video. This is what I like to do. So let's just be peaceful, okay? So I think that Ruby is not going to get the full max. I don't think she's going to get the maximum, but I think Jodi just might. And, you know, in an interview Jodi's niece did fairly recently, like a couple months ago, that's recently to me, that she spoke to the DA, and the DA seems to think that Jodi is going to get the maximum. So, yeah, so that's it. Just short and sweet. I just wanted to just let y'all know in case any of you missed it, but it's going to be everywhere. So I'm not your only source for this, that's for sure. But thank you for watching, and I'll talk to everyone later. Bye.